On our trip, we first stopped at Bellingham Bay and continued to follow the Nooksack River to the falls, with our last destination being at Artist Point, overlooking Mount Shuckson, Mount Baker, and more of the North Cascades. At Eagle Park, we discussed salmon and the journey they take up the Nooksack River. This year, there has been a lack of salmon in Washington due to the effects of climate change in our local environment. Water makes its way into Bellingham Bay by route of the Nooksack River, which sources from the North Cascades. In the spring, the salmon travel upstream to lay eggs. Each summer, the snowpack from the North Cascades rushes down through the rivers, including the Nooksack River, resulting in powerful waterfalls. However, with our continuously warming Earth due to climate change, the snowpack is melting at an increasingly rapid rate and leads to drier summers and more intense fire seasons in the Pacific Northwest. At our next stop, we explored the source of all snowpack, which for the area are the glaciers of Mount Baker and other high mountains in the North Cascades. Glaciers are rapidly melting and most will disappear within the 21st century. This will impact surrounding ecosystems and potentially alter reliance on hydroelectric power in the Pacific Northwest. Our final stop was in old-growth forest, which is rare in the U.S. because most originally standing forests have been logged. A form of logging called clear-cutting is unsustainable and adds to climate change by stripping down forests, which act as carbon sinks.
One quick thing that I want to talk about that we focus on a lot is community partnerships. And so we partner up with a bunch of different organizations.
The Restore uses recyclable or unwanted goods.
The gallery, the Revision to Vision gallery we just visited, all get created out of this shop here. So everyone, this is Matt. Matt and his partner in crime in here, David. David's off this week. They're the ones who create all of these things, and it all sort of happens out of this shop. And you can see if you look around, this is a great time to come in the shop because it's exactly how it is on a day of like, who knows what's going to come in the shop or what's coming in the store or what's the starting point. That there's always some piece of material that's the starting point of their creations.
Stopping using the worst oil. It's higher carbon, it's more toxic, it's harder to get, it's got more health impacts. And so what we're doing here is trying to stop, originally we're going to stop the increase of the use of extreme oil. So fracked oil from these different shale deposits or these tar sands, and then stop its use entirely as we wean ourselves off using all sorts of different substitutes. How would you even begin? Any idea at all? What would you do to try to change people's consumption of oil? Which type of oil they use or where it comes from? What would you do? I had to answer this question 3 years ago, and my work has been based on the answer ever since, but what would you do?
Farmers Market is a place where people can buy fresh produce straight from the farmers, along with fun activities for the public as well.
Well, I think that everybody's an activist, so we all take action on the things that move us, that drive our hearts and our passion. So I'm just living life with my passion to help make the world a better place. So that's what drives my activism. But hopefully everybody can feel like an activist. Yeah. Let's see, ways that people can change. I think people need to be thinking about their consumer habits, and because for some, we are consuming every day, whether it's the things we eat, the things we put in our bodies. I know that it takes 600 gallons of water, say, to make a hamburger, so it's like, well, I don't want to waste that much water, so why eat hamburgers? It's too carbon intensive of a product to produce. So, for example, we have choices in the things that we eat. We also have the choices in the things that we buy. So I think, so that's one way. Also the behaviors like bringing our own bags to the store, or, you know, riding our bikes, not using fossil fuels, trying to break the addiction to fossil fuels, and just having that mindset and putting a climate change filter on every single decision that you make from the moment you wake up till the moment you go to bed.
Well, I take the bus to work every day, and if I don't take the bus, I carpool. So taking the bus is great. Biking is great because it's really good for you. It's good for the environment. Learning what things are compostable and which things are trash and which things are recyclable, that's good to know. So educating yourself. And I think it's great that Western doesn't do the plastic water bottle thing. It's not very common at universities around the country, so it's pretty cool. Yeah.
I live in a forested area. There's 40 acres of woodland, so there's not much pollution, but there is still trash that blows in from the wind from places around. Help clean up the forest area around my house because it's where I live, so I want to keep it nice.
A lot should change. I definitely think we should be moving towards clean energy really quickly, away from fossil fuels, because climate change affects us all, and it's already affecting a lot of people. You're going to have entire island countries that are going to be taken up by rising seas. You're going to have a lot more migration, a lot more refugees. So I think this is like a responsibility that we all have to make sure that our world's okay.